Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you once again to this very platform. Wherever you are joining us from, I appreciate you and I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide you, protect you. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to this very channel, kindly subscribe, like, and share. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. In this platform, we bring information that has to do with the Biafran people. Information that has to do with the Zoological Republic. In this platform, we bring details and videos close to your doorstep so that you can understand what is going on in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. In today's program, you are going to hear the version of the Nigerian media on what transpired in the case of Amaka, the Igbo lady that is living in Canada that everyone is attacking. You are going to hear the version of Nigerian media, what they are saying and what they are bringing forward as their own points. It is important that we share this information for the whole world to see and know. After watching all the information, you can now make up your mind and draw out.
Stay with us. It's still VOP this morning. The Simon Ekpa-led Biafra Republic government in exile, Brgie, has called on the Nigerian government to recognize the result of the self-referendum for Biafra's liberation. Ekpa, acting as the Prime Minister of Brgie, claimed that over 50 million people voted in favor of Biafra's independence, citing marginalization and other long-standing grievances as motivations for the referendum. He urged Nigeria to accept the outcome to avoid what he described as inevitable historic shame. This development follows Nigeria's defense headquarters' ongoing effort to engage the European Union, EU, in securing Simon Ekpa's extradition as tensions continue to rise over the Biafra movement's demand for self-rule. Ekpa has also extended an invitation to Nigerian officials to participate in the upcoming Biafran Convention in Finland later this year. In another development, Simon Ekpa has also vowed to defend Canada-based Nigerian woman Amaka Patience Sonberger, who went viral for threatening to harm Yoruba and Edo people. Ekpa made this known in a statement on Thursday through his official X account, and his comment comes after Amaka Sonberger on Tuesday, through her TikTok account, released a video clip where she threatened to harm Yoruba or Edo individuals she encounters. Reacting to the matter, Ekpa stressed that the Biafran government would defend Sonberger. He further urged Sonberger not to panic for any reason at all. And with us in the studio this morning, we have Barrister Darlington Agumo. He will help us to x-ray this topic and help us make sense of it. Barrister Darlington, good morning.
Good morning, Fina, Moses, and
Chukwuma.
Good
well,
to have
Chukwuma
you.
is also, he has opinion on this, so we'll also be posing questions, throwing questions at Chukwuma as he will let us know his opinion on this. Well, he shared a bit of it when he, about the Abike Dabiri era's involvement in all of this as it concerns Amaka. But we'll go deeper into, the Biafra conversation.
Now, Barrister, this issue of Biafra agitation, and now we have Simon Ekpa coming up to say that there's a referendum. 50 million people voted for self-rule for Biafra. What do you make of this? What does it really portend?
Yeah, Fina, if you ask me, the issue of Biafra and Simon Ekpa, it is the federal government of Nigeria that is fueling it.
Why do you say so?
We have given them suggestions on how to end this thing, but the federal government decided to look the other side. Whatever Simon Ekpa has become today, the federal government created and made it possible. Because if the Igbos in Nigeria, the Southeasterners, have been really integrated into Nigeria, if the insecurity in the Southeast has been taken care of, if the extortion going on there has been, taken care of, if the army of occupation in the Southeast has been removed, my dear, nobody will pay attention to Simon Ekpa. But as it is today, with the way you are treating the Igbos in Nigeria, with what happened during the last election and so many other things that is well known to everybody, the people feel that they are not part of Nigeria.
So are you of the opinion that he's fighting in good faith now, fighting a good fight for the Igbos in Nigeria from what he's saying?
Look, whenever there is injustice, you don't even need to tell anybody. Dissent will just arise on its own. People will just feel disgruntled. When we go and check anywhere where there is injustice, the type that is going on in Nigeria, consciously people will just become disgruntled.
But Barrister, you know that back in the history, let's take it a bit back, where the issue of agitation began when we have Ojukwu, led and the Aburi Accord and the statement that was made, Nigerians also did not honor that particular convention. Now with this referendum that Mr. Simon Ekpa is talking about and the vote, do you really think Nigerian government will also give heed to it?
Whatever Simon Ekpa is doing, he's on his own.
Well, Barrister,
he's on his own because nobody have recognized him in Igbo land.
Okay, but you did say it's the government of Nigeria that has empowered Simon Ekpa to continue on this path. But is it the government of Nigeria that has consistently made Igbos in the southeast to sit at home on Mondays, an action that has continually affected economic growth in that region?
Moses, please. Are you telling me that if Nnamdi Kanu is reduced today, this sit-at-home will continue?
But Nnamdi Kanu have come up to say, I am not the one responsible for this. And he also said that the sit-at-home actually happened not to be his order, but we have Simon Ekpa still.
In the consciousness of the Igbo man today, they are paying solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu because of the injustice meted out on him. It's as simple as that. Whether it is created by Simon Ekpa or not, the Igbos are paying solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu's continued incarceration without any justification.
Okay. Let me come to Chukwuma very quickly. Now, still on this conversation, yeah. We've talked about how the elders in Igbo land are canvassing for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. He's been in detention for way too long, and we are looking for a political solution to it. And we've also looked at the activities of Simon Ekpa as one that has continually aided the government or empowered the government to keep Nnamdi Kanu in custody because they tend to link the two of them. Do you think Simon Ekpa is acting in the interest of Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra people if government harps on his actions to say, look, let's not release this man because he's still a threat to Nigeria's security?
Okay, Moses, I think the larger issue of what is going on in the southeast and Simon Ekpa speaks to the fact of abdication of life. But life doesn't allow vacuum. As a father, if you don't play your role,
you lose
someone is going to play it for you. Whether in economics or in the other room, or if you don't play it, someone else is going to play it for you. That is what it is. That is life. So, like Barrister Gomo said, clearly what is happening in the southeast is the inaction of the federal government. Is the inaction of the federal government. If you ask me if Simon Ekpa is speaking or acting in the larger interest of the people, to an extent I would say yes.
To what extent is that?
To the extent that there's a vacuum that the federal government left. Federal government refused to address fundamental issues about the existence of an ethnic group. Left it festering. And like I said, vacuum doesn't exist in life. So he had to step in. Not just now. Nnamdi Kanu stepped in. Owazirike stepped in, to fill those gaps. So if the federal government had acted responsibly, those gaps will not exist.
So do you think
there will be no person to fill it. Now, the issue now is, do you see how federal government has contributed to this? The federal government, people of the Southeast, people of the Southwest, people of the North Central have been calling for a referendum to decide how we want to live together as a union. And clearly the federal government has said no. And I don't know why they are jittery about the whole thing. See, referendum is a democratic tool used all over the world for people to decide whether they, not just about agitation, not just about being in a union. In some countries, you conduct referendum before you even amend the constitution. You conduct referendum before you take one issue that the people feel, look, the representatives cannot, it is not enough for them to decide on those issues. So you throw it open, referendum, plebiscite, and all of that. All over the world. You had Brexit in 2016, you had the Scotland vote in 2014, even a military leader, Pervez Musharraf, in Pakistan, used referendum to stabilize his government. You know, so the moment the federal government refuses to put referendum as part of our constitution so that people can, before you even go to the National Assembly to make amendments, the referendum, people can say, let us decide whether we want, in Ireland, they conducted a referendum to decide whether they should adopt same-sex marriage.
So why do you think the government is mum over this whole happenings?
Because the federal, which happening?
I'm talking about the sit at home, which actually has been making the Southeasterners lose a whole, like so much money. Every Monday, the Southeasterners, they have to sit at home. The 5 states, they sit at home for Mondays. And is that okay for the Southeastern economy and even the Nigerian economy at large?
You know, Fina, the issue about economy and fundamental existence of the people, you know, they are two different. I'm not sure the Southeast people have come out to say that they are losing money. Yes. Because, I mean, if you make all the money and you don't have a decision about how you are governed, you don't make input about how someone governs you, then that economic well-being doesn't make sense.
Sitting at home, just one day that Nigerians organize protests from 1 to 10 of August, we have a report that says that 400 billion naira is what Nigeria loses as a nation. Now we come back again to the Southeast, happen to be part of this country that sits at home every Monday. Now, Mr. Chukwuma Okoro, the money that this region is losing, is it economically okay for that region and for Nigerian government?
Fina, the day
because they are losing money on it.
We held a protest for one day and we lost 400 billion naira. On the day we didn't do the protest and gained 400 billion naira, what did we do with the 400 billion?
Take it back again to the Southeast, Mr. Chukwuma. These people have been sitting at home for so many months. It's even getting to years now.
Fina, this issue about the fundament is not accidental. It speaks to the fundamental existence of a people. A people in a union who says, look, this is what we want. This is what we want.
So now that we have Simon Ekpa talking about how 50 million people have voted for a referendum, self-rule for Biafra, you know, Mr. Chukwuma, do you think that this vote or this result that Simon Ekpa projected will actually speak to the Nigerian government?
You see, the referendum conducted by Simon Ekpa, I don't know how he conducted it. I didn't vote. I've asked a few people, they didn't vote too.
Okay.
So how it will affect, see, the thing about it is that the tension in the land, you know, when it keeps rising like this, and government keeps ignoring it. And I also say that in countries that have unraveled, it is because the government at the center refuse to listen to the yearnings and aspirations of the people, the demands of the people. You know, the government could be having its way every other day, but it will get to a point where this conflict would spin out of control. And when it spins out of control, what do you have? You have war, you have anarchy and all of that. And nobody wants to travel that route again. Nobody wants to travel that route again. So beyond this, what I expect the government to do, look, put in referendum as an article in our constitution. Fina, let me tell you, in all honesty, in all sincerity, if you conduct a referendum today, if you conduct a referendum and ask people from the Southeast whether they want to remain part of the union, I'm very sure a whole lot of people will say we want to.
That is what you.
So let me bring it back to Barrister now. Let me play the ping pong over to you now. What do you make of the fact that this individual, Simon Ekpa, who who also resides in Finland and has the Finnish passport, is calling for, calling the Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuga and other government officials to come. This is an individual that the government of Nigeria is also trying to repatriate, bring back to Nigeria to answer for things that his words have caused in Nigeria. What do you make of that invitation?
That will tell you that Simon Egba is on his own. He's actually exhibiting a useful exuberance. Because I don't see how any Nigerian official will honor something.
I hate to interrupt you. I hate to interrupt your train of thought there, but you did say he's on his own. Chukwumaku is seated right beside you.
It's his own opinion.
Is of the opinion that Simon Ekpa, like it or not, speaks to the larger desires of those in the southeast.
Look, but I also talked about his methods.
Hold on. Whatever he is speaking is immaterial. The question is, are the Igbos supporting him? You heard when the Vanessa spoke against him, they went to Aso Rock under Buhari's regime to tell him to bring this guy home so that he can answer for charges. Did anybody do that? Otherwise, I told that Simon Egba is exhibiting useful exuberance because whatever he's doing in Finland should be done here, in Eastern region, in Igbo land. He cannot form a government for the Igbos in Finland. And as I've always told people, it is the society that prepares the crime. Then the criminal commits it. We have said this severally, and the facts are there.
Are you insinuating that the government is intentionally reluctant to expedite Simon Ekpa?
If not, why not? Moses, let me give you the template here. When this thing started, remember, Simon Ekpa was disowned by IPOB. Remember, up to tomorrow, IPOB have told you they don't know him. He's not acting for him. And that their leader is Nnamdi Kanu. So why didn't the federal government exploit that option and release Nnamdi Ekpa to cut off, release Nnamdi Kanu to cut off Simon Ekpa? Because if Nnamdi Kanu come out today, nobody will mention the name of Simon Ekpa. Quote me. If Nnamdi Kanu come out today, that name, Simon Ekpa, will become irrelevant.
But he's still the one making calling the shot in the southeast for the sit-at-home order that Nnamdi Kanu come up to say no, he's not the one championing.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
So do you also still think nobody will remember him from the way it's going?
Look, you cannot decide for the Igbo man from abroad. It's not possible.
But they still understand and they adhere to
I have told you that the sit-at-home on Mondays is a solidarity for Nnamdi Kanu's continuous detention. Right. If you are doubting me, release Nnamdi Kanu and see whether
somehow enabling it. Can I step in? Can I come in here? Let's get a bit historical here. You see, if you look at the history of agitation, struggle for independence, they always have arrowheads. Let's go back to South Africa during the ANC days. The man who happens to be Africa's best son of the 21st century, of the 21st century,
Nelson Mandela,
at a point was disowned by his own people. Oliver Tambo, who managed the struggle from exile, people called South Africans, black South Africans, called for the head of Oliver Tambo outside South Africa. You see, when things like this degenerate to this level, the methods, the processes are no longer defined. So everything becomes fair and good, so long as all is fair and war. In warfare, because the end justifies the means. And Simon Ekpa, I didn't say that he speaks, but I said that he's acting in the interest of
the Igbos.
But his methods might not be acceptable to a whole lot of people in the Igbo land. You see, these things are very clear. So if you talk about organizing referendum and inviting the Minister of External Affairs, I mean, he's negotiating. He's a tradable. He's a tradable, whether the minister attends or not, but he has put it out there. You remember when Oliver was busy, going from country to country with Nelson? They even came to Nigeria.
Of course. They
even came to Nigeria, to solicit for arms and all of that. And people back in South Africa were people like the PAC. Okay.
If you would not mind, I'd like for you to hold on to that thought as we have we Our phone lines are out there, and you're open to joining the conversation. You have 30 seconds to about a minute, maximum 1 minute, to let your views heard right here on the show. If you do call those numbers, they'll give you not more than 1 minute to air your view. Go ahead, please. All right, so we have a call coming through. Can we hear from this individual? As soon as you call, you let us know your name and your location, and then you get straight to your point.
Good morning.
Okay.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning. What's
your name and location?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Go ahead.
Name and location?
Thank you. I'm calling from Nasarawa.
All right, your contribution, please. Your name.
Yes, I want to contribute to that program.
What's your name?
From Nasarawa.
What's your name?
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
David, go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
David,
All
go
right,
ahead.
David, we can hear you, David. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask this is my brother where the studio now. Where is somebody is your own? You see sometimes this is our Nigeria. If you want a problem, you need to go quick before the problem. Okay, this guy now, this is our the kind of way they arrest people for them. The guy is outside Nigeria, they do you own. They go bring her for Nigeria. Okay, now, if never solve problem of Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria want to go bring some money back from Finland. You see our problem for this country. Okay, each of now, these people now say, each of start home. They say releasing Nnamdi Kanu. If they make make the government to try to release Nnamdi Kanu, whether this start home will stop. Everybody keep quiet. Television will maybe go out of our hands. I like this your program. I like her because she just started the following program. The God for listener. You need to call the president of Turubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. Whether this is a monetary issue.
Your 1 minute is up. Thank you very much, David from Nasarawa State. Well,
Moses, it is always good to be specific in what you want. Don't mix up things. We cannot be talking of Simon Egba and be talking of Nnamdi Kanu. As far as I'm concerned, Simon Egba is outside Igbo land. So how do you want me to believe that he's acting for me in Finland? No, does it make sense? How can he form a government of Biafra in Finland and he's a prime minister over there? That's why I said I don't know him. I don't know. He's acting on his own. Let him come home here so that we will now know what he stands for, who is sponsoring him.
So
how we know that Nnamdi Kanu?
The sponsorship thing that you just mentioned now, has come up many times. That certain individuals within the government is sponsoring Simon Ekpa to ensure that the Southeast remains remains as it is. Like
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So these are issues.
I was actually going to ask.
No, that is a fact.
Buy into that idea.
That is a fact. Because no Igbo man will sponsor Simon Ekpa to destabilize Igbo land. It can never happen. Some people are sponsoring him. That is why I told you that he's on his own. It's a fact. Let him come home. Let the federal government bring him if they are serious. Let them bring him home here if they are serious. But they like what is going on there because they want to keep the Igbo man down.
So are you now saying that some individuals are bigger than the government, even when we know that the government actually supersedes every other person?
Oh, really?
Even the fact that some governors in the Southeast have come up to say no more sit at home, and the people also couldn't come out to move around.
That will now tell you that look, you have made it impossible for any Igbo man, especially the Southern, to believe you because the injustices have entered into their consciousness. Okay. They are asking questions. Why is Nnamdi Kanu still in detention? When the court have said release him, is that not enough for you to build anger in them?
All right.
You see, Moses, when worse things have happened in this country, especially in the north, you saw when Toju Bello was banned, and the federal government official went there to go and visit and officiate over the matter. So how do you define that? How? These are the things that are making the Igbo man to say, oh, so we are not human, we are not part of Nigeria. When they do it over there, they pamper them. But when we just say we don't like what is going on, they clamp down on us.
All right.
You are the one that created the problem. You are the one.
Okay. Well, let's let's get you seem to have an opposing view to his. Go ahead.
Opposing to the extent that he believes that what is going on, that what Simon Ekpa is doing, that Simon is acting on his own. You know, that is, we agree with the fact that, look, government has not done enough to stop this. You know, we also agree that the people of the Southeast should be given an opportunity to speak for them. You know, the issue of this, the point of disagreement is the fact that Simon is not acting in his interest.
All right.
And my own concern here is that.
But is he acting in your own interest?
Someone is acting in the larger interest of in the larger interest of the Southeast.
No. He cannot be acting in my interest when it is believed that he's causing insecurity in the Southeast. Yes.
Hold on, please. Let's listen to this Nigerian.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from, please?
I'm calling from Kaduna.
What is your name?
I've been not taking over the matter. Go ahead.
Hello? Please, what is your name, please?
So what I'm calling is about the program that is going on. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, you see sometimes some of our leaders and people that is the problem that you have. A man that's sitting there and saying that Simon Ekpa, that the Igbo land don't know what is going on. He's not saying lies. When he comes to sit at home on Monday, can he come out? What is going on is are he happy with it? Let them release him Nnamdi Kanu. The problem of Simon Ekpa will be over. And they say the court of Nigeria released him and they refuse to release him. And somebody can come out and Igbos will only need somebody that can tell us the truth and stand. That's what Ekpa is telling the Southeast people. Whether he knows it at the government outside or government at home. What is going on in Southeast? People are not happy. Let them release Nnamdi Kanu. If Southeast is free. Thank you.
Mr. Chukwuma is saying something.
It's difficult to divorce these facts. The facts are intertwined. You get the point. People are not happy. Both those in the Southeast and outside the Southeast, they are not happy. You know, but the government has not come in to say, okay, let's meet these demands. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu, conduct a referendum for the people to decide. You know, and there are other variables. Simon Ekpa has clearly become a variable in this. You know, whether we like his methods or not. And there is no method that everybody will assent to. There's no method that everybody will approve. But what is happening in the Southeast? Everybody has condemned it.
But looking at the method it's taken, we have 40 states. The map of Biafra, according to Simon Ekpa, we have 40 states, which he described to be the new map of Biafra. And some people have not really come up to say, we are not part of this map. And they also have the flag. Now, if we are looking at the path he's taken to get this, his voice heard, he also conducted a referendum that have over 50 million people.
That we
times two.
Those that participated in
that is it. Which happened to have like times 2 of the number of people that voted in the 2023 general election in Nigeria. Now, Mr. Chukwuma, are you also still saying that he's not working the way he should or he's supposed to? Fighting for the cause of these people, you said a larger chunk of them are buying his idea.
You see, Fina, I also said that this young man is negotiating.
He's not negotiating.
No,
he just invited people.
With your actions.
No, Mr. Chukwuma Okoro, he just invited people for a Biafran conference that he even have a date to it. He said he's inviting people to come for the November. The time is coming, November 29th
and
convention in Finland. He has date, time, and venue.
You know when I say that he's negotiating, do you know what I mean? You can negotiate with your actions. You can negotiate with words without sitting on a round table. The guy is negotiating. He's putting out information there, you know, telling you that there's a Biafran government in exile in outside. As they have the ANC in exile. Look at what happened between Sinn Féin and the IRA in Ireland and all of that. This man is negotiating to the point that he is able to put this out in the international community. To the point, look at what happened in South Sudan. At the point, after a very long period of carnage, Colin Powell had to step in. They now brought out the CPA, the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, after a referendum. What Simon, you and I know that there is no way now you come to Nigeria and say this is Biafran government and the capital is here and you have 40 states.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Barrister, hold on. You know, these things is not to the extent that it is not a legal document, but he's putting it out there for people to look at it. He is negotiating to the point that he wants to draw in both the federal government and the international community to step in and resolve this issue. The fact that he has said that there are 40 states does not mean that automatically there are 40 states. The fact that he has said there is Biafran government in exile does not mean that they've been admitted into the United Nations.
So where does his movement and his negotiation leave the broader movement of Biafra? Remember that this cause started even what led to the war that we was having in Nigeria, the civil war. Where does this leave to the broader movement of Biafra?
Like, I keep going back to South Africa. We had the ANC.
Let's bring it back to Nigeria.
No, I want to create an analogy.
Okay, fine.
You had the ANC. You know, you had the PAC led by Robert Bob Sobukwe. You know,
yes.
You had the communists. You had other people, the coloreds and all. Everybody, they were working at cross purposes until a point when it became convenient for them to join together.
Bring it back again to what happened that led to a conference that happened in Aburi in Ghana, where there was a declaration on the stamp. A signature was signed, depending on it, to say, let them go because of the marginalization they actually pointed out. And this happened in the international body. Mr. Chukwumokoro, you're a historian, you understand that. And then why did the federal government of Nigeria renege on acknowledging that particular document?
I think feel that this is out of
No, because we're looking at Biafra now, still agitating after so many years.
Meanwhile, Aburi didn't say let them go.
Aburi didn't say let them go.
Aburi said, let's confederate. Aburi didn't say let them go. He said, let's confederate. Let's confederate. And when they came back, you know, a certain group of people pressured Gowon to renege on that agreement. And we are still going back to that issue. After how many years?
What they promised Biafra, did they fulfill it?
They didn't. You know, even after independence. So, in the broader perspective, you know, at the end of the day, like I told you, this is a struggle. The processes are not laid out. There is no cast in concrete. At the end of the day, whether the government gives accepts referendum, whether there's a breakaway, which we don't want, through warfare, we don't want that again, or anyhow, we work around this issue.
Wait, sorry, excuse me. You don't want a breakaway through warfare, or you don't want a breakaway?
No, we don't want a breakaway through warfare. Okay. We don't want a breakaway through warfare.
So there can be a breakaway. If all the parties involved, Nigeria and the agitators of Biafra come together, and the Southeasterners come together and agree, there could be a breakaway.
And how are we going to achieve that? If you throw it up in a referendum,
it's not
ask the people to vote.
It's separation.
Ask the people to vote. Moses, if there's a vote now, if there's a referendum is conducted, and the vote is, we want to stay, trust me, nobody will talk about Biafra.
I'm telling you, I am telling you.
Nobody will talk about Biafra.
Just like it happened in Britain.
But the fact that a certain group of people are saying, no, the unity of this country is not negotiable. It's not negotiable. You can negotiate life. If you don't want to live, you die.
Abi.
And that is what referendum is talking about.
If I will take it from that statement you just made, you can't just die. It's a crime to the state if you take your own life.
So, you can go to you can lock yourself in the room,
but it's a crime
and take off.
It's a crime. They'll
prosecute the dead, Abi.
They'll prosecute the dead.
Well, the barrister knows that it's a crime to take one's life. So you can't just say, look, you want to go. So if government is saying it's non-negotiable, I think they have something that's.
But euthanasia is allowed.
Pardon?
Euthanasia. If you are having a terminal sickness and the thing is punishing you and there is no solution.
In some countries it's not allowed.
All right, so
in some countries it's not allowed. In some countries it's allowed.
So, but it's not terminal yet when it comes to the existence of the Southeasterner or the Southeastern region.
It's almost gone beyond terminal because the people have been shut out. Let me,
Moses, except people don't want to address this issue. We have made it clear. We are not here to start defending what is indefensible. Even the federal government of Nigeria knows that the Southeast has been marginalized. Some leadership of APC and this government have gone to the Southeast and they have made it clear. So what are you doing? These are people very diligent, very industrious. Why do you shut them out? Why do you treat them as if they don't matter? These are things that are agitating your mind. Are you telling me that if the Southeast are included in governance today, everybody will talk of what is going on? I'm just giving you examples of what's going on in the Southeast today. What was the reason for that? Look, Moses, people have done worse things, and yet nobody. Under Buhari regime, Sunday Igboho addressed a secessionist address. He did it. What happened to the Southwest? Did anybody surround them?
Let's be clear on a few things. What do you think is the fear, or what do you think is hindering the larger Nigerian population from giving the Southeasterner a chance, as you have put it?
It is because they are afraid.
Of what exactly?
Good. The same fear that they created during the war. The same fear that made them to close down the UNN, Chemical Engineering Department. The same fear that made them not to...
My fellow Biafrans, after watching this clip, I want you to be the judge for yourself. Go to the comment section and write on the comment section, tell me what you feel about this. I thank God for the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Biafran people are going to defend themselves. If it's going to take everyone out to defend Biafra, we will do that till the last man standing. May Chukwu Okike Abịama continue to guide our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chukwu Okike Abịama continue to guide our Liberation Army. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity and equity. We move airborne. Thank you and stay safe.